Welcome back to Cuisine, where we understand that behind every celebration there is often a hidden cost, and even the sweetest of memories can conceal a bitter truth. Tonight, our focus is on Mlyntsi, the delicate, paper-thin Ukrainian crepes, a dish inextricably linked with holidays, warmth, and new beginnings. But for one family in Poltava in 2005, Mlyntsi became a symbol of a promise broken and a life put on hold. This is The Vanishing Bride, the story of Sofia, a beautiful young woman who disappeared hours before her lavish wedding, leaving behind only her extravagant dress and a plate of her signature untouched Mlyntsi. The secret to her sudden departure was baked right into her final, imperfect batch. If you believe that every broken family tie leaves a trail, and that the greatest secrets are kept where you least expect them, in the kitchen, then you are ready to join our investigation. Subscribe to Cuisine now and press the bell so you don't miss any of our secret recipe files. Sofia was set to marry Petro, a powerful local businessman. It was a union of status, wealth, and high expectation. But on the morning of the wedding, with guests arriving and the orchestra tuning up, Sofia was gone. Her room was empty. The window was open, and the only items left were her wedding shoes and a stack of cooling Mlyntsi on the kitchen counter. The police suspected a classic case of cold feet, or perhaps a premeditated theft of the expensive wedding gifts. But investigator Lyudmila Petrova, a veteran detective, felt the situation was too quiet, too composed for simple panic. Lyudmila surveyed the scene. The kitchen was spotless. Sofia had been baking just hours before her disappearance. The large stack of Mlyntsi was made precisely for her, a personal wedding morning tradition. They were the perfect texture, the perfect shade of gold. However, a small bowl nearby contained the filling: Tvorog, cottage cheese, and a delicate poppy seed, muck mixture. But something was wrong. The poppy seed filling was unusually dark, almost black, and gave off a strange, almost medicinal aroma that was definitely not vanilla. The traditional filling was a simple mix of poppy seeds, sugar, and butter. Sofia's recipe card found nearby listed an additional peculiar ingredient under optional: 3 drops of the elder's secret. Lyudmila discovered that the elder's secret was a name for a specific ancient herbal tincture known only to a few women in Sofia's remote village, a potent, highly concentrated liquid traditionally used by herbalists for sedation or to induce deep, temporary sleep. It was a brilliant diversion. Sofia had made the Mlyntsi, but she had left the secret to her disappearance inside the filling. The strong, sweet poppy seed paste was the perfect vehicle to mask the subtle bitterness of the tincture. The critical question was, who was the tincture for? Sofia's disappearance looked like a self-planned escape, yet the tincture suggested she was incapacitating someone else. Lyudmila focused on Petro, the fiancé. The investigation quickly revealed that Petro's business was deeply entangled with local criminal figures. He wasn't marrying Sofia for love. He was marrying her to gain control of her family's ancestral land, which sat on a strategically important oil pipeline route. Sofia had found out the truth just days before the wedding. Sofia couldn't simply run. Petro's contacts would find her immediately. She couldn't call the police. Petro's influence was too strong. She needed a way to buy herself time, a massive, guaranteed time gap. Lyudmila deduced Sofia had laced Petro's specific portion of the Mlyntsi with the elder's secret. She had planned for him to eat a large wedding breakfast and fall into a deep sleep that would last for over 48 hours, providing her with an invaluable head start. But how did she distinguish his Mlyntsi from the rest? Ludmila returned to the untouched plate of Mlyntsi. She realized that Sofia, the meticulously organized bride, would never leave anything to chance. She began to unroll the pancakes, searching for a subtle mark, an external flaw. There was none. Finally, she cut into the filling of one of the pancakes, near the crimped end. Deep inside the poppy seed and Tvorog mixture, she found it, a tiny, tightly rolled piece of rice paper. The heat of the warm Mlyntsi had slightly softened the paper, making it stick to the filling. The note was a simple map, a sequence of coordinates written in Sofia's grandmother's hand, leading to a remote monastery near the border. But on the back of the paper, Sofia had written her final, chilling message. The third Mlyntsi had the poppy. The tincture was in the first. Ludmila understood the elegant, terrifying logic. Sofia had prepared the Mlyntsi in sequence. Petro, who was obsessively punctual, always ate the first plate of food presented to him. Sofia had laced the filling of the very first pancake with the potent tincture, knowing Petro would consume it before moving to the regular batch. The rest of the Mlyntsi were a perfect alibi, proof that she had simply left a standard breakfast. Petro was found later that morning, not missing, but in a comatose sleep, having consumed the poisoned first Mlyntsi. He was medically fine, but his deep sleep gave the police enough time to start investigating his criminal ties, using the coordinates Sofia had left behind. Sofia was found safely at the monastery, hidden under the protection of the elders' council. She confessed that she couldn't face the marriage, but she couldn't risk her family or herself in a direct confrontation. She had used her grandmother's ancient herbal knowledge to buy her freedom. The wedding dress was a sacrifice. The Mlyntsi were her weapon. The delicate, sweet taste of the morning pancake was the final deception in a complicated escape plan. The Mlyntsi remains a symbol of new beginnings, but for those who know the story of Sofia, it is also a reminder: never underestimate the resolve of a woman protecting her future, and never ignore the difference between the first meal and the last. The recipe for Mlyntsi is simple. The recipe for escape is often much more complex. Thank you for joining us on Cuisine. The truth is in the taste. Don't let the next mystery slip away. Subscribe now and let's uncover more culinary crimes hidden across Ukraine.